My Father is always working, and so am I. Dear brothers and sisters, today the Church celebrates the memory of Saint Joseph the Worker. The Church takes Saint Joseph, the foster father of Jesus, as the role model and patron of all workers. The readings of this memorial remind us of the importance and the dignity of human labor. In the Gospels, there are several occasions wherein the people refer to Jesus as the carpenter's son. This is a powerful reminder to us that Jesus, before he began his public ministry, spent a large portion of his earthly life in quiet and humble work in the carpenter's workshop, under the tutelage of Saint Joseph. Saint Joseph looked after Jesus and Mary through his hard work, and this was part of his great contribution to God's plan of salvation. In addition, Joseph never allowed his work to come in the way of his religious duties and obligations to his family. Rather, it supplemented them. The memorial of Saint Joseph the Worker was added to the liturgical calendar of the Church by Pope Pius XII in 1955 as a response to the May Day celebrations of the Communists. In response to the growing threat of communism, the Church considered it important to highlight the sanctity and the dignity of work as well as of the worker. In the book of Genesis, we read about God creating the world and making human beings the stewards of His creation, enjoining on them the necessity to work. Work is therefore a divine duty and a participation in God's divine providence. We read Jesus saying in John chapter 5 verse 17, "My Father is always working, and so am I." St. Paul, during his ministry at Corinth, worked as a tent maker. In his second letter to the Corinthians, chapter 3 verse 10, he writes, "If anyone is not willing to work, let him not eat." Again, he writes to the Colossians, chapter 3 verse 24 to 25, "Whatever your work is, put your heart into it, as if it were for the Lord and not for men. It is Christ the Lord that you are serving." This memorial is a good occasion for us to devote ourselves wholeheartedly to the work that we do in a spirit of Christian love and service. This celebration also invites us, both as individuals and as societies, to consider the dignity, the rights and duties of every worker, especially with regard to the dignity of all labor, the necessity of a just wage, good working conditions, and adequate time for the personal, religious, social, and family life of the worker. In the complicated, busy, and cutthroat business environment that we live in, let us pray that human labor and industry may be governed by justice and charity, and thereby serve to better the human life of all people, instead of merely being dictated by considerations of profit and gain. As the world economies go through difficult times nowadays, we realize more that we need the blessings of the Lord on our work and livelihood. Let us also pray today for all the workers, especially for ourselves, our family members and colleagues, that through the intercession of Saint Joseph, we may experience the Lord's strengthening and sanctifying presence in our work and be rewarded with His abundant blessings.